I got pranked. So my friend Cal was over and we were gonna be working on the mock, and him and his brother just keep laughing at me. And I'm like, why? What are you doing? What did you take, right? So I look at my Lego shelves, everything is exactly the same, right? So I go through, I'm scanning. I'm like, well, at least give me a clue. I have no idea what you've done. And so I say hot or cold. He says, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer. And so I go up to R2 and I'm like, well, like thinking around, oh, what, did you like change something on this? Did you put this knob here? Come to think of it, I don't remember this knob being there. Anyways, I think it looks normal. Everything is in place. Everything that I thought was supposed to be on the shelf is there. And this is when I turn to the audience. Do you guys notice the difference? Something that is not supposed to be on this shelf. And I'll give you about 5 seconds to spot the difference. Time's up. Okay, did you get it? Did you get it? Because this was not taken, it was not removed, it was swapped. If you didn't notice, this is the 2012 UCS R2-D2. I don't have the 2012 UCS R2-D2. What is supposed to be there is the 2021 UCS R2-D2. This is the 2012. It's pointing at the wrong one. This is the imposter. So either this little guy time traveled or I got pranked. It turns out that, you know, we can't time travel, unfortunately, so I did indeed get pranked, and this little guy was put into a bag, and I feel really bad about it. So let's take a closer look. I'm almost feeling like the 2021 UCS R2-D2 doesn't merit the same kind of response because they really did a carbon copy with a few upgrades, and let me show you what I mean. So this is the 2012 model, and this is the newer 2021 UCS R2-D2. And the first thing that you're gonna notice right off the bat is that this one is a little bit slimmer. You can see some of the gaps, whereas this one is gonna be a little bit more rounded off. So initially, this is my favorite of the two models, but as I looked a little bit more closely, there's a couple things about this one that I actually like more. In addition to that, you'll also notice that the nameplates are different, whereas this one is larger. You have the older R2-D2 that's not shiny on the dome, whereas this one, you get the 50th year anniversary plaque for Lucasfilm, the shiny R2 updated minifigure, but the plaque is a lot smaller. The next thing that I noticed is the color of the pipes, and this one's actually a lot more accurate. This one looks way too new. I really wish they would have used more of a brown color, and that's something that I even noticed in my review. The second thing that I noticed is actually the vents. These ones actually stick out, whereas these ones are more so inbuilt. I actually like the look of these better. This one definitely made some improvements with small details like this, the vents on the other side, and I do like this fan bit a little bit more, but I don't really love how these vents stick out. I do like how they're more inbuilt on this model, but just in the nature of this being more blocky and square, they don't have quite as nice details. That's quite an indent in the side. So this one definitely feels more like a bucket, rounded, with nice rounded smooth pieces, and this one definitely feels more like a Lego brick. But there are so many similar things about these two models, even from the way that their tools open up in the front, the exact same orientation, these are gold, these are silver, to the ways that the tools actually come out from the back. So for the 2012 model, you actually have to open up these side panels a little bit, and then there's a twist on the back that allows these two tools to twist out. And then for the newer model, there's 2 points where you can push, which initiates the door opening, but then you kind of have to pull them out manually in order to be able to use them. And then the legs are almost identical, with this being really the only major change, as well as the design of the cylinder, but then the feet are basically a carbon copy. As for the third leg, the older model, this one not just being old because it's from 2012, but it's not in the best condition. It actually has a switch on the back, which allows the third leg to just drop down. And I like the way the newer model has R2 bringing out the third leg just by pushing him forward. So I do think that that is superior. The 2012 R2 definitely uses a lot less Technic, and the feature for how the leg drops down is a little bit different as well. So looking at the inside here, you can see that there's one of these horizontal pieces, but it has the teeth, and this switch on the back is actually going to hook on so that the leg doesn't fall down, and then as soon as you move the switch up, this piece right here will be able to drop down, bringing the leg out from the bottom. To put this back up, you have to kind of use both hands to push that back up, and then make sure that the switch in the back is in the upright position so that it's locked in to the teeth and the leg doesn't fall out. And I would say it stays in pretty well.
you know, when you push them forward or wiggle them around, it doesn't fall out, which is pretty nice, and I would say something that is a little bit of a flaw on the newer model. With the newer model here, the inside is definitely a lot cleaner looking. Everything has smoothed off pieces, so you can't really see quite the same jagged interior, and it definitely uses a lot more Technic. And like I said, the leg does fall out pretty easily because all you have to do is push them forward and then it pops out. So it's just kind of sitting on there rather than a switch with something actually wedged into the teeth of the mechanism. And then we have the heads. The older model actually spins really well. It's just attached to one axle point on the top. And the newer model is still smooth, but definitely not as smooth as the 2012 model. This one has the rotary plate on the bottom, so it is attached better, but doesn't rotate as fast. Also, with the 2021 model, you're gonna get the periscope that is tucked away in the head, as well as the hidden compartment for the miniature lightsaber build. I also do like the darker blue color, but I do think that this lighter blue kind of brings back nostalgic Star Wars feels. Putting the bodies aside and just looking at the heads, I do actually like the studded off top of the 2012 model. Although they made this one look a lot smoother, they've added in the hidden periscope, as well as the hidden compartment for the lightsaber build. I do still kind of like this model more, and I think it looks a little bit more like the helmet series and fits in that way. But I'd say where this one is better is the fact that they've used just this darker blue, as the lighter blue kind of makes it look more outdated. Looking up really close and personal, this one actually has two transparent studs, whereas this is actually just an opening. And then of course you have a ton of smoothed out pieces all over the head. Instead of it being studded off, I do like it studded off. And even here, completely the same mimicked pattern with the red and green transparent pieces. And this is a blue slider piece, and this is just a 1x1 transparent stud. You have these same two blue studs that are showing. And again, this is the upgraded nozzle. That's kind of the same piece, but just, I guess, updated. And then pretty much the same pattern following all the way around to the front. And you're just getting a 1x1 red stud on the 2012 model. And then the same piece as the back, just in the transparent red as the slider piece. And I do like the upgraded shield piece on the eye sensor here. So I do like the sensory arrays better on the 2021 model. Lastly, to put the heads back on, this one goes on the rotating plate, so it's pretty simple, but it does click into place. And then this one's actually just going to sit on the axle, so you kind of just plop the head on this one, and that's kind of why it turns around so smooth, maybe a little bit too smooth. I do kind of like some resistance on there so that his head's not just flying around in circles.
So let me know in the comments below which R2-D2 model is your favorite, and if you were able to spot the difference in the very beginning. As always guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, happy building. Don't get pranked.